Hello, I'm Nick Pawson for News 24 Live.
And I'm Sergio Davids for Wheels 24.
Welcome to this week's Wheels Show. We're going to be discussing the appalling smash and grab incident that happened in Joburg, which was caught on camera, get some social media reaction and discuss that. And then introducing you to 3 new vehicles that were launched in South Africa this week. Sergio attended one of the launches in Durban. Sergio, thanks for coming in.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Yes, the smash and grab incident that happened on the corner of Witkoppen and Cambridge, caught on a dash cam. These dash cams seem to be quite valuable these days. And yeah, that's been getting a lot of traction on News 24 Live and News 24. Obviously, just the nature of it, it's probably also something that a lot of people have witnessed themselves. To sort of see it that raw and see the perpetrators get away with it is quite disturbing.
Look, it's a sad reality of being on SA's roads. We're not safe. We need to be vigilant. And I suppose the biggest question is, where were the cops? Smash and grabs are not new. Many people, like you said, have seen them happen, reported as such. But when you see it, visually on YouTube, for instance, it just becomes all the more real, and all the more reason for us to be more vigilant on the roads.
I just want to read out first of our tweets that I thought was frightening, actually, from Rob Burr in Traffic South Africa. He tweeted yesterday that Witkoppen, Cambridge, the same guy, same clothes, was back there today. This was the 20th of Jan yesterday. So a day later, the same guy was back, same spot.
Sheesh. Look, unfortunately, these are crimes of opportunities. And the crooks know exactly where you're going to be and where high traffic areas are. And this guy in particular probably didn't even watch the news to see himself on camera. But if this is in fact the case, he probably went back there because he knows there's rich pickings. He knows people are going to be standing at the traffic for a while. He can do his supposed beggar dance, song and dance as he walks around traffic, spotting items in cars. He can get away with it as well because, as you've seen in the clip, he's got a runoff area just off the road.
Sergio, in the footage, you see him throw something. I'm assuming that's a spark plug. How do these guys do this? I mean, is it generally always an implement that they smash the window with first? Do they just go with their fist?
Look, it's rather difficult or rather conspicuous to walk around with a crowbar, for instance, or a spanner to smash someone's window. A spark plug is rather effective. You're putting a large amount of force on a relatively small area, and on glass, for instance, is quite fragile. Thus, you see him hurling the spark plug, if that is in case the weapon, against the window. It smashes, and he can get easy entry into the back. Often, because it's so quick, you'll notice nothing can be done. It happens so fast that the owner of that land didn't even able to do anything.
So does that spark plug just sort of shatter the window and then sort of weaken it, and then he just goes and punches a hole through?
Yeah, more often than enough, it causes enough force on that window so that it's much easier to break in. Or in fact, depending on the car, obviously a Land Rover's window is quite large. Obviously, depending on the car and the type of window, you could probably just smash it with one go as well.
Okay, our next tweet, Bonge Mokhale, there's been a lot of tweets of this nature, sort of who's accountable. So she's tweeted the City of Joburg and the SAPS, who's responsible for ensuring there are no beggars and vendors in the road at intersections. Now, of course, that's obviously quite a tricky issue. Not all beggars are potential smash and grabbers. But moreover, who's accountable for these kind of things?
Look, it's quite a contentious issue because, like you said, not every beggar, not every vendor, for instance, is a likely criminal. The responsibility lies on Joburg Metro. And I'm not trying to make excuses for them, but one of the biggest things we need to do as motorists is be vigilant. Often you can tell whether or not something dodgy is going on. Why is this beggar looking through my back window, for instance? As was the case in the clip. You see him beg for food from the front of the car, then moves to the back seat. Why would he be doing that? And especially from the side, he was approaching the car as well, from the left.
And then finally, 702 retweets something that EWN put out, taking people's experiences and collating a map showing the smash and grab hotspots, in this case in Joburg. Are these useful, these types of maps?
Oh, indeed. And I hope the city of Joburg sees this and perhaps puts cops in these streets. Obviously, it's not realistic to hope, rather, that they'll have cops on each one of these hotspots. But at least in this case, it gives drivers, for instance, a good idea of where these hotspots are. Criminals know these places. They're going to be waiting there. They're not necessarily targeting just you specifically, but we're creatures of habit. We go along the same route day in, day out. We don't think twice about who's around us. The criminals know this too, and they're waiting for that opportunity to grab something from you.